Hello everyone, I am J. Albinovins from Holy Cross College, Autonomous, Nagarkoil. The topic of today's video is RT-PCR, a detection technique for coronavirus. What do you mean by RT-PCR? RT-PCR is reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction. It is also known as real-time PCR or quantitative PCR. All the people were now aware of the name RT-PCR because of coronavirus, as the detection of this virus is done by this technique. This is one of the most enabling technology of this genomic age. It is a laboratory technique based on PCR and a novel method of choice for detecting mRNA. It monitors the amplification of targeted DNA during PCR, that is, in real time. It is used quantitatively as well as semi-quantitatively. It is best suited for studies of small subsets of genes and measuring the expressions of genes. It is mainly applicable for studying the known genes. It has a large dynamic range, tremendous sensitivity, specific sequence, and there is no post-amplification processing. Before knowing the detailed information about RT-PCR, let us understand the general background behind this technique. As we know, the central dogma of life is transcription and translation, which is very important to everyone. RT-PCR has direct contact and connection with these parameters. RT-PCR will measure the gene expression by amplifying cDNA, that is reverse transcribed from RNA. Be very clear, it is RNA and not DNA. So, why RNA is used in this technique? What is the reason behind it? Actually, our DNA has coding and non-coding sequences. Coding sequences possess exons and introns. During translation process, amino acids will be formed only from the coding regions, that is exons. So, during transcription process, only coding sequences, that is exons of the gene, will form the mRNA. Hence, the amount of gene present in the cell can be measured by quantifying this RNA. Next, let's see about the reverse transcriptase enzyme. The important key feature for this technique is this enzyme. Reverse transcriptase enzyme was first isolated by David Baltimore in 1970 and discovered by Howard Temin and Satoshi Mizutani. This enzyme is found mainly in RNA viruses. It is a RNA-dependent DNA polymerase enzyme or RNA-directed DNA polymerase. It transcribes the single-stranded RNA into DNA. Coming to the principle of RT-PCR, RNA is first transcribed into cDNA by reverse transcriptase from the total RNA or mRNA. The cDNA is then used as a template for this reaction. With the help of probes and primers, the template is amplified and also quantified. Key components. The necessary key components needed to perform RT-PCR are RNA, DNA primer, probes, dNTPs, reverse transcriptase with RNase activity, PCR buffer with RNase inhibitors, and PCR enhancers. Temperature conditions. We should remember that in RT-PCR, there is no denaturation step as in PCR. So, the first step starts with primer annealing. The primer anneals at 55 degrees centigrade to 85 degrees centigrade for about 5 minutes. During this time, the primer binds to template RNA. Then, cooling at 4 degrees centigrade for 2 minutes is essential for binding process. At this time, the new strand synthesis starts. This is followed by polymerization. It occurs at 10 to 50 degrees centigrade for about 10 to 90 minutes. Finally, the enzyme deactivation occurs with the temperature of 85 degrees centigrade for about 10 minutes. Next, steps in RT-PCR. The first step is extraction of total RNA. Next is characterization of RNA. Third one is selection of primers. Usually oligo-DT primers or random primer or sequence-specific primers are used. Next step is synthesis of strands. The synthesis of cDNA is an important step. It occurs in two steps: synthesis of first strand and reverse transcriptase enzyme amplify cDNA from double-stranded RNA. This is first strand synthesis. It cleaves the RNA from RNA cDNA hybrid into small fragments. Small concentration of RNase H was added to separate the hybrid. Nicks are formed due to RNase H. It is filled by DNA polymerase I and T7 polymerase. Also, the DNA polymerase synthesize the DNA with 5' to 3' and remove RNA fragments in 5' to 3' exonuclease activity. The nicks between the adjacent DNA are ligated by ligase enzyme, that is usually E. coli DNA ligase. Now, the synthesis of second strand occurs. The next step uses fluorescent reporters and a PCR reaction to amplify and detect the specific genes. Two types of fluorescent reporters are commonly used. They are SYBR green and Tachman probes. SYBR green is an cyanide dye that fluoresces only when it bounds to double-stranded DNA, which is a PCR product. Tachman probes are made of a gene-specific nucleic acid probe. It is joined to reporter and quencher molecule. The function of probe is it will bind to DNA molecule between forward and reverse primer. When the reporter and quencher are bound to the probe, the quencher absorbs the fluorescence emitted. During the extension phase of PCR, the probe will get degraded and release the reporter. Further, it allows the fluorescence to be detected. For both SYBR green and Tachman methods, the amount of fluorescence in the sample is detected in real time and further plotted against cycle number. The amount of fluorescence is proportional to PCR product. The steps were shown in the flowchart. Phases in RT-PCR. The different steps involved in RT-PCR is categorized into 4 phases. The first phase is linear ground phase, the cycles. In this phase, the polymerase chain reaction starts. Fluorescent emission of each cycle has not yet risen above the background. Baseline fluorescence is calculated here. The second phase is early exponential phase. Here, the amount of fluorescence has reached a threshold where it is higher than background level. It is known as CT, that is cycle threshold. The third phase is log linear or exponential phase. Here, the PCR reaches its optimal amplification period with PCR product, that is doubling after every cycle. The final phase is plateau phase. Here, the components become limited and fluorescence intensity is no longer useful. Types of RT-PCR. There are two types of RT-PCR, one-step RT-PCR and two-step RT-PCR. First, let's see about one-step RT-PCR. Here, the reaction occurs in a single tube or single reaction. Reverse transcription and amplification are performed as a single reaction and hence it got its name. It is mainly used in repeat quantification assays and high throughput screening. It has very high accuracy, specificity, easy handling, very less contamination, very fast results and even reproducible. Limitations, but as many chemicals and reagents are used in a single reaction, sometimes the reaction conditions were compromised. So, this will detect very less template in per reaction. Also, two different reactions from single sample cannot be performed because cDNA synthesis and amplification occurs in a single reaction. So, cDNA cannot be stored for further reactions. Here, sequence-specific primers are usually used and the reaction is in a single step. So, there is chance of non-specific bindings and primer-dimer formation will be more. These are some of the limitations of using one-step RT-PCR. Next is two-step RT-PCR. In two-step RT-PCR, reverse transcription and amplification are performed in two separate reaction tubes. So, two separate reactions occurs. In the first reaction, reverse transcriptase enzyme, DNTPs, reaction buffer, oligo-DT primers and random primers are used to construct the cDNA. After construction of cDNA, it can be used as stock for further uses. In the second reaction, with the PCR reagents and Taq DNA polymerase, reaction starts for quantification. We should remember that reverse transcriptase enzyme is not used here. Just the cDNA formed in the first reaction is amplified and quantified. The great advantage of this process is storage of cDNA. Also, 3 sets of primers are used here and hence it is highly specific. The disadvantage of this process is chance of contamination will be more and reaction failure is also high. It is time consuming process. Also, it has high cost of reagents. Expertise is also needed for performing this reaction. Some of the applications of RT-PCR are: it is used to quantify nucleic acids by relative quantification and absolute quantification. It is used in gene insertion studies and also gene therapy experiments. It is used to detect infectious diseases, cancer, and even genetic abnormalities. It is adopted to detect new emerging diseases such as new strains of flu and coronavirus. It is adopted in the food microbiology field to analyze food safety, food spoilage, microbial risk assessment of water quality, public health protection, etc. It is used to amplify functional markers in the DNA of environmental samples. It is used to detect phytopathogens to prevent economic losses. It can be used to detect genetically modified organisms. It is used in clinical quantification and even genotyping, that is, characterization of the strains. It is used in RNA interference validation, microarray validation, etc. It is used to screen the expression of low copy transcripts in the body fluids and tissues. Some of the main advantages and disadvantages are as follows. The advantages: it is 10,000 to 100,000 fold more sensitive than RNase protection assays. It is 1,000 fold more sensitive than dot blot hybridization technique. Even we can detect a single copy of specific transcript by using this process. The main disadvantage of this technique is it needs very expensive equipment and also costly reagents, and this technique is more sensitive. Thank you so much for listening this video.